We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Well, hello there, it's Runaround Stu. Right, this is the birth of a brand new channel where I'm going to take you along with me on my trips around different places. But I'm going to start where I grew up in the late 60s and early 70s. And we're going over to a place called Dudley. I'm guessing you all know or have heard of Dudley. And it's the heart of the Black Country. And I'm going to show you around where I was when I was a child and the places around there. There's so much interesting stuff in the back streets, not only all the popular areas like the town, the market and places like that, but to go around and have a look in the back streets. And I'm going to take you on this vlog where it all started for me in the heart of the Black Country in Dudley. So it's going to take me about half an hour to get there. I would like to use public transport, but unfortunately I do work. So I work early shift and a late shift, only just for a couple of hours each shift. So I can't really be taking public transport because I need to get back, obviously, for my work. And it's about an half an hour drive, 45 minutes, something like that. And I'm about 20 miles away. So let's get on the road and let's get over there. Well, here we go, folks. We've made it to the Black Country, and we are walking into Dudley town centre. So I've actually parked on this car park here, and I can remember when this car park was built in the early 70s, and those lights there when I was a kid. Now I'm going back over 50 years. When they built those lights, I thought they were something out of the space age. They're so tall. I can remember when they put them up, and I was just a little kid walking to school. Now I just got to watch crossing the road. And if I just pan round here, you can actually just get a little spot, a little sighting of the famous Dudley Castle. Yes, a Black Country castle. There it is in the background there. I'll see if I can zoom in a bit. There it is. Just over there. Whoever thought though you could get a Black Country castle? So, we're going to take a walk down the town. And we may veer off a little bit and just go and show you a bit of my history and when I lived in Dudley, which would have been probably between 68 and 1974-ish. So late 60s, early 70s. I remember walking down this way to school. Hiya. And as we come into the town, this church here is well known as the top church, as it's at the top of the town. I think it's St Thomas's, if I remember right. So we're right at the top of the town. Quite busy in this area. I'll try and cross the road if I can. There we go. Now this large building on the corner here, when I lived here, was a department store, and it was like the Harrods of the Black Country. I'm trying to remember the name, but I can't remember the name. But yes, it was the Harrods of the Black Country. So what I do, I'm just going to take a a little wander down here out of the town and just got popped down here because this holds some memories for me walking this way. This is the way I'd go home from school. I'd come down here from the car park where we'd just come from, and I would walk down here. Now, that was when I was at primary school, or as we used to call it, junior school. So, I just need to get across the road here. There we go. Now, just down here, before I went to the junior school or the primary school, there was another school, St Thomas's. I guess was the infant school. And I used to go to school here with somebody that was reasonably famous. In fact, I think these might have been the gates to the school, and the school's gone. Look at the rubbish. I'm sure this is the grounds where the school used to be. But yes, I went to school there with somebody that was in a famous band, or made part of the famous band. Him and his sister. His name was John. I used to know him as Johnny back then. And his sister was Denise. And they were in a famous Manchester group, I guess. But yes, they're from the Black Country, not Manchester. Any having a guess? Well, they were actually in the group Simply Red, believe it or not. Me and Johnny used to walk from that school where I've just been down here, and on this corner here used to be a shop. We know, there's the sun in there. We knew him as Reg, and it was Reg's corner shop. It was just like a paper sweet shop, newspaper, and he used to have a dog. I can't remember the name of his dog, but me and Johnny got friendly with his dog. He actually used to wait outside the school gate for us. He got to know the times we come out, and he'd be sitting there every day we come out, and he'd walk back down with us to this shop, which was just there. So, you all right, guys? Just turn the screen around so I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to cross the road here. Now, this is where Johnny and Denise used to live, part of Simply Red. And they used to live in the house on the left there, that one there. And I can remember going in there with Johnny after school. And I got memories of upstairs. I was climbing out the window, which we shouldn't have been doing, but we did. So, but there is a bit of a sad story to this, because a couple of years ago I found out Johnny had passed away, which was very sad. And about 15, 16, 17, 18 years ago, I was living on the south coast, and I hadn't spoken to Johnny since I was a nipper, since I was like 12 maybe. And I got a message out of the blue through my mother, who still lived a few miles away, but they bumped into Denise's and Johnny's mother. and I had a text message out the blue from Denise to go and pick up some tickets and go and see Simply Red live. And what a fantastic day that was in Brighton. So we're just going to walk down here. There's a special reason why I'm coming down here, because this is where I used to live. Now, this building here used to be where I lived, and it used to be the Locomotive Inn. It used to be the Locomotive pub, and between 68 and 74ish is where I used to live, and it's now I think it's a good, is it Seek? Just have a quick chat with the lads. They've actually changed it. All that other side never used to be there. Let's see if I can cross the road. Oh yeah? You okay? Do you mind being on the film?
Okay.
In the 70s, 60s, 70s, I used to live here. It used to be a pub.
Okay.
And I'm just doing a story. I've got a YouTube channel, and I'm just doing a story.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the late 60s, 70s, I used to live in there.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Done a lot of work to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, back then, this is where I live. I've got some great stories there. I've got some ghost stories in there as well. My sister allegedly saw a little boy stood at the bottom of her bed one night. She was screaming out. Obviously my parents got up to see what was going on. But yeah. Oh yeah. Can I have a look inside? Sorry? All right, okay. So I used to live here in the 70s when it was a pub. That's all. I'm just looking. Wow, that's certainly changed. That used to be the bar area. We've done lots of work to it since I lived there. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this building next to it never used to be here. This is the St John's. It still is the St John's. These garages never used to be here. That building at the back did. And I used to play football here with my brother. But yeah, I think I've got a photo of the pub. I'll pop it up on the screen now. Of the pub in the 80s, probably 10 to 15 years after we moved out. I've got no other pictures of the time when we was here other than inside, so I'll drop some of those photos inside for you. Okay, so there you go, that was the Locomotive. If I remember right, there used to be a wall to the left there, and there was a passageway down there to the front door. Well, that's all gone. They've extended on the side. Also a story, this car park. I've got a story. I've almost been abducted from this car park, which I might go into one day. Needless to say, I was okay, and I got away. How about that for a story then? I didn't get taken anywhere. I literally got away from the guy that was trying to take me. So again, that would have been early 70s. So, some memories there. So yeah, down there was Johnny and Denise, who was part of the Simply Red group. And also, I forgot to say, another famous person that a majority probably British people will know. My sister was in the same class as Lenny Henry. He used to come to the pub to pick his parents' beer up, and he used to take it home, and he used to live in that direction up the hill there, up the top of Constitution Hill. And he used to live that way somewhere. But yeah, I used to see him quite a lot. That was before he was famous. And if I remember right, he went on to a programme called New Faces, which was a talent show. And he won that. And my sister used to go out with his friend. I think his name was Greg. I think, which he's still friends with him now. I mean, I don't keep up with it, so I think he is. My sister spoke about it in the past. But yeah. And there's one thing about Dudley. It's so bloody hilly. So if I'm getting out of breath, that's because I'm bloody walking up this bloody big hill. And I can remember doing it as a child. So, let's get into the town.